It's been a long week for Arsenal fans and for the Arsenal team as well. Four different competitions, multiple away trips. Arsenal have had to go out and grind out victories in a lot of games, and some games have been less pleasant than others. And this game against Manchester United is very important. It's not because Arsenal are in trouble or anything like that. It is a recovery game. It's a response game. Arsenal have drawn their last two games in the Premier League. And this is the kind of game that you need to respond to shift the momentum, for a title race. So we're going to break this down. Arsenal versus Manchester United preview. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's anchor this game properly. And for those of you that have been watching the channel, I want to say thank you. I appreciate all of you. Hit that like and subscribe button as well, and share this with as many Arsenal fans as possible, because we do need, some calm, sensible Arsenal conversations, especially before games. So I did this video, and I do encourage you to check it out. The roadmap for Arsenal to win the Premier League. It's roadmap to 90, and it's just me stepping back and trying to figure out if Arsenal were going to win this league, what would be the path that they would take to do this. And we divided the games across the season into buckets. You really need to go watch the video. I think you will enjoy it. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because this next game, it's in the bucket that we call the swing buckets. These are emotional games that Arsenal will have to play over the season. And we've played one already. In fact, we've played two already. Aston Villa and Brighton. And Manchester United is the next one up in that series. So we've taken 6 points from a possible 13 that we could take from that series. So we're kind of halfway there in terms of our points total. But this one is so important. It's very important because it is the next one, and more important because it is against Manchester United. And right now, the margins are closing, right? If we want to get to those 90 points, the margin are going. Um, and we need to steal points from this bucket. So this bucket almost needs to go flawless. Now let's look at this Manchester United team, because they're going to be arriving at Emirates, a slightly different team, with confidence. I mean, you don't go around and beat the champions, well, not the champions, but Manchester City, so convincingly without taking some confidence. So they're going to be coming here with a lot of confidence, and they're not coming here to outpass Arsenal. They're not coming here to win possession. They're coming here to hurt Arsenal and hurt them quickly, if that game was anything to go by. But I think that Arsenal's recent European experience is going to help them in this game, and I'll tell you why. So that Arsenal game against Inter Milan, um, are identical, not in a way that you think. And because both teams are dangerous in moments, and that's the identity that those two games have. Now, when I did my post reaction to the Inter versus Arsenal game, one of the things that I said was, I don't think Arsenal learned a lot from this game. But when I actually started looking at the game again, I think one thing that Arsenal will pick up from this game that you would definitely see in that Manchester United game is the triggers that the two teams have. And that is, to go forward very quickly. Manchester United against Man City, I think they had a possession of just 38%. But if you remember that Mbeumo goal, it was a really back to front goal, very quickly. Um, and so Arsenal were tested in Inter Milan against the two strikers that they played up front, because they compressed the spaces and they tried to punish Arsenal's rest defense. And so that game was very instructional for Arsenal in terms of preparing. And maybe that's why Mikel Arteta played the team that he played, because I didn't think Saka should have played. A lot of us wanted a lot of rotation, but maybe he wanted to prepare those players for what might happen in the Manchester United game. And if that's the case, and if we pull up the 3 points, I think it would have been a genius move by Mikel Arteta. Now, guys, so let's simplify what United do well. So fast breaks, especially under this Carrick era. And what that means is that you just win the ball, and you're getting a shot off within about 10 seconds. And it's classic counter attack. You regain one or two passes, and you've got runners that are sprinting behind, and then you take your shot quickly. United scored exactly this type of goal against Man City last week. So you know that they're going to be looking to replicate this. Now, another thing that you're going to see with Manchester United is what, most people, a lot of the stats call this. This is the passes per defensive action. And you'll probably hear that quite a lot. And it just answers one question, right? How long do teams keep the ball before they try to win it back? Some teams, press constantly, others wait and then strike. And United do exactly the same thing, so they don't press in waves, and they choose their moments to press, then they win it, and then they go straight forward. And you're going to look at the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Mainu are going to be playing in this game, and you will expect that that will be their instruction. You probably see a pass go back, to Shaw, and then Shaw will be quickly sending it diagonal, to one of their fast wingers, whether that's Dogu or whether that's Buemo. I think you're going to see that quite a lot. Um, some teams, take about 25 seconds to build an attack. United can do it in 5. Against City, obviously, they had the low possession. It was early forward runs, constant runs beyond the line, and multiple offsides. And actually, sometimes when you see offsides in a lot of games, you're thinking, why is he getting caught offside? Sometimes those are tell signs. What they're trying to do is, see how much they can stretch the defense and see how the defense are reacting, because that at some point they're going to try and make that move, and hope that the defense don't react because they think that they're going to catch them, offside. So they're always little like, warning signs that you can look at. Now, United are going to try and play very differently at Emirates. In fact, they're going to try and recreate exactly what they did with Manchester City. So expect a compact mid block. Um, and no all-out presses. Arsenal will be allowed to have possession. They're going to do this, but they're going to protect that central spaces. So you're going to see Casemiro and Menu playing in the middle of the park, and United would just wait. And all they want is Arsenal to commit numbers forward, and we know how to do this. And then they want to hope that Arsenal will overlap with either Uran Timber and whoever is playing in the left back. I suspect that if Mars Lewis Kelly is playing left back, he'll probably be asked to sit back a little bit more. And if you notice that against the Inter game, Mars Lewis Kelly wasn't bombing forward as much as Uran Timber. So maybe that was also another tell sign of what Mikel Arteta was trying to do to prepare, for this Manchester United game. So it's going to be about that first pass forward. United are not interested in recycling the ball or slowing the game down. They want early balls into the corner, quick diagonals into space, and then attacks that finish in seconds. So this is going to challenge Arsenal's structure. And this is exactly what United want. They're very comfortable to go into the Emirates and nick a 1-0 victory. That would just do them very, very well. Now, where Arsenal can control this game, is Arsenal are, you can kind of look at what happened in Inter Milan, because Inter are structurally more disciplined than United. Um, they press harder, they control territory better, they suffocate games. It means that Arsenal don't need to dominate any more than we normally do, right? They just need to manage things smarter. And the key things for me, for Arsenal in this game, is we need to maintain that rest defense, when attacking, which Arteta, you always see that, 2-3 rest defense from an Arsenal perspective. Um, and then avoid both fullbacks pushing automatically. And I think, that's what we kind of saw against Inter Milan. I expect that to be the same. And then we just slow the game after gaining territory. Now, this is kind of the game that um, Martin Odegaard loves because he just wants to have as many touches as possible and just move the ball from side to side, which can be very frustrating. But it almost, sometimes it's games need thing, especially when you have teams that just all they want to do is just hit you on their counter attack. Sometimes that might give them a little bit of frustration. Now obviously the difference between Inter and United is that while Inter win the ball, control possession, and wear you down, United win the ball, attack immediately, and they accept the fact that they might be disorganized because they like to lose it to win it, if that makes sense a little bit. So yeah, this match is going to be pretty interesting. Now, when I think about the Arsenal lineup for this game, I expect Mikel Arteta to kind of go back to, a formation that he absolutely trusts, and a formation that has worked. So obviously you've got Raya in goal, you got that pairing of Saliba and Gabriel. It's great to have Mosquera back, so I think he'll be on the bench. And depending on how the game goes, he might come into the squad as well. Gabriel, I think you saw, was rested in that Inter game. I think it just tells you how important he's going to be in that Manchester United game. Now, questions that are needed to be answered. Because listen, right, we saw Uren Timber play, at left back, and goodness me, I think when he plays at right back, he's a completely different player. And so in Inter, he played in the right back and he just felt comfortable. He just felt like he was playing with a joy on his face. So he clearly doesn't want to be playing the left back position. Now, people might say after the experience that MLS had with Frimpong, why would you want to play him? But I think that MLS can very quickly and confidently play this game. And I think he should probably play this game. Then in the middle of the pack, you've got Zubimendi and Rice. I think that goes without question. And then, guys, you're probably gonna see Odegaard play in that middle. But there is a curious conversation around Merino, playing in this game. It'll be interesting to see that happen. But I expect Trossard to play, I expect Saka to play, and then Gyökeres to play up front. Now, Noni Madueke didn't play in this game, but I don't think it was because he was being rested for the Manchester United game. Um, it may be that he's going to be playing that Chelsea game, which I will be going for, or maybe he's being kept for the Carrot game. But maybe Mikel Arteta might make some alterations, in terms of who's gonna come in for this game. But guys, I mean, I think that there's a lot of noise that has been made about Arsenal's recent performance in the league. I think the reality is that it's just a very tough league to go and win, right? It's just tough. And this is not going to be the smooth sailing all the way. It's not going to be smooth sailing, and things are going to go. I just think that with the way Arsenal is playing, we're probably witnessing one of the best Arsenal teams that we've ever had. And I know it doesn't feel like it, but I can't remember the last time that we've been in this stage of the season and we're still in four competitions. So just to let that sink in a little bit, being in the semifinals and feeling good about it, still being in the FA Cup, where we are in the Champions League, and also the points total that we have in the league. I don't think we've seen that before. So I think there's a lot of perspective to be taken, about Arsenal, about what we're doing. But yeah, I mean, just to round up that game against United, obviously for Manchester United, the players to watch, Brian Burmo, Patrick Dogu, as well. I think Cunha, might come in from the bench, on this one. We've already talked about, the Arsenal lineup that makes sense. I think that Arsenal win this, coming to prediction. I think this Arsenal win this 2-1 is a chance for us to actually do a double on Manchester United. Um, I don't think that we've done a double over Manchester United since, you won't believe it, since 2006, 2007. That's a very, very long time since we've done the double. Uh, and that's nearly 19 years. Absolutely ridiculous. So it's a long gap, and maybe that's something that can focus the player's mind. We need to break that. We need to set some records, break some records. But hey, guys, let me know what you think about this game. I'm gonna go 2-1 for Arsenal to win this. Put in your comments, your predictions in the comment section. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to check out other videos on the channel. I'll be back to review win, lose, or draw what happened in that game. Three things Arsenal did well, three things Arsenal could improve. Until the next one, guys, take care of yourselves. See you soon.